I really want to love Shadows of Doubt. It has the hallmarks of a game I would absolutely adore and never put down. Almost endless and repeatable content of solving homicides, breaking and entering, and slowly upgrading yourself to become an unstoppable detective. When it works, and everything comes together naturally, it's an absolute blast to play. So, let me tell you a story. After a hard day's work of throwing food in people's faces for money, my police scanner goes off and notifies me of a murder at the core systems office. I grab a case resolution form and make my way over to the crime scene. When I get there, there's an enforcer guarding the scene, along with some cameras, meaning I cannot just waltz in there like Kramer. I channel my inner Gordon Freeman and make my way inside through the vents. There she is, the murder oh shit. I thought I could sneak up to it and turn it off, but no, that didn't work out. After loading a save, I try a new, sneaky approach into the security office. With the security systems disabled, I finally come face to face with the victim. She was killed by a bullet wound from a rifle. The time of death was between 9:30 and 10:45, Monday, January 2nd, 1979. I dig around the office for a bit, looking for information about her fellow coworkers until I find a clue that breaks this case wide open. A bullet hole in the top of the window. This narrows the killer down to these upper floors of a nearby hotel. The camera footage I dig up is accurate. She's there, then she's gone. My first thought is to visit the victim's apartment, where I am greeted by their partner. I give her some cash to look around the apartment and get to work. I find a couple notes about her being followed by someone. A tall, average weight male with short hair has been stalking her. I finally have a suspect. After taking my personal service fee, I go to the suspect's hotel and start knocking and letting myself in. Until, finally, I meet my target. A tall, average weight male at the top of the hotel. Surprisingly enough, he lets me in without making me pay him a dime. Once again, I get to work. And then, I find it. The smoking gun. My suspect is an underground weapons dealer. This is it. This is how I get him. I just have to go to his workplace and find the murder weapon. After enacting my persuasion skills on him to let me in, I find a sales ledger. 2 rifles were purchased, one by Y. Tion and another by D. Schumacher. I get the hell out of there and find the city directory to get their addresses. When I arrive at Schumacher's address, and he opens the door, I am stunned. The man before me matches the exact description of the victim's stalker. I neglected to remember the short hair detail with the weapons dealer. He was bald. This is him. This is the killer. His building number was 1101, the only floor I forgot to check. This is it. On his body I find rifle ammunition. And leaning against the windowsill is the rifle used in the murder of Avni Marath, scientist at Core Systems. While leaving the scene, I accidentally tripped the security alarms and ran out of the building as quick as I could. However, I couldn't outrun a bullet. I awoke in the hospital, and I slowly limped away towards the case resolution turn-in. And just like that, it was over. This is Shadows of Doubt at its best. Its absolute best. When all of its systems work together to form a good story, it just works.
Who's laughing now?
But most of the time, the procedural generation this game's gameplay is built on falls apart completely. Now, imagine taking an odd job to capture a picture of a target. All you get given to go off of is their hair color and length, their blood type, and that they like music and are depressed. That's it. That's all the proc gen decided to give you for that case. Now, being the smart guy that I am, I decided to pose as a health inspector to snoop around the local pharmacy, hoping to find records of some sort to see who's buying antidepressants. I retrieve a sales listing linked to the initials AM. I find the city directory and jot down the address of every AM in town. I then go to visit every single address, and finally, after knocking on 7 doors, I find nothing. Not a single one of these people had short, brown hair, and I had no more leads, so I quit the job. This is what will happen in a lot of cases. You find a promising lead that goes absolutely nowhere because the proc gen decided to fuck you over. You will keep re-rolling jobs until you finally find one that is actually possible to figure out without monumental effort. This right here is why I believe the procedural generation is this game's strongest and weakest link. It can create intriguing and natural stories like the one I just told you, but it can also waste your time completely. The game wants you to believe that you're in a living, breathing city where everybody has relationships with one another, when that just isn't the case. You can beat someone up, break into their house, steal their things, and as long as you escape and come back like 10 minutes later, they won't care. This is one of the biggest things that is missing from Shadows of Doubt for me, being able to impact the world you're living in with your actions and decisions. I know there's only so much proc gen can account for, especially when it's a small indie team working on it. However, this is what's holding me back from loving this game. And I'm not even mentioning the fact that the studio abandoned the game as soon as it left early access and has left it up to the modding community to finish their game on mod.io. Anyway, with all of that being said, Shadows of Doubt is still a very fun game, even if it has a limited sandbox. If it's on sale, go buy it.